Okay, the doorbell. Hello, everybody. Peter and I have not made a video in a long time, and actually, we were prepared to stop. I'm actually ready to kill all the social media that we have. We're kind of disgusted with the entire world at this point. The leadership in this country, in the United States, should be ashamed of itself, right down to the governor of my state. The United States of America was founded in 1776. It wasn't until the 80s that the final signers signed everything and all the I's were dotted. Before that, we were England. Wrap your head around that. We're being destroyed by people who keep crying racism. So, a little history lesson for everybody. I don't care where you came from, your blood isn't ethnically pure. At some point, they're going to be able to trace genetics back, and you're going to find out that Rome ran the world. Rome had sex with everybody in the world. Egypt ran part of the world. So at some point, you had someone that you would never, ever think was in your family tree. There are no ethnically pure people. It's impossible. It's impossible. I don't care if for the last 100 years, you've only had people born in an Italian town or in an Irish town or in Mayberry in your family. You're going to find out humanity is nothing but a mixing bowl. And every single ethnic group is in your bloodline somewhere. It's just the way it is. So hating someone because of a color is bullshit. Okay? We're taking a stand. We didn't have pancakes on Tuesday because I ran out of pancake mix and I was not buying the brand that used to be Aunt Jemima's. I'm upset about that. I loved Aunt Jemima's picture on that box. I never once thought of her as a slave. I never once looked at her and said, that's a slave. She was just this wonderful woman who cooked great pancakes because my mom used Aunt Jemima. And I knew my mom wasn't mixing the flour and all. So I knew Aunt Jemima was the one making the pancakes. She was just adding the water and stuff. Back in the day, you used to have to put the egg in too. Yeah. So we have made a stand. Instead of going with that brand, we are with Cousin T. He's a good-looking kid. I think he's half Irish. Doesn't he look half Irish? He doesn't look like a rabbit at all. There's a perfect example. We live in a bi-species house. Me, the rabbit, and the two babies. How about that? You think you got problems? We're buying this to make a statement. I don't care whose picture is on there if the product is good. And when you stand there and tell me you don't want the picture of a woman of color on a pancake box because it upsets you, you better go get a DNA test and find out every single strand that was ever in your family. And if you tell me, not me, my family comes from Puerto Rico. We're only Puerto Rico. They had slaves in Puerto Rico. They got slaves from Puerto Rico. Guess what? Rome had ships going to Puerto Rico. Jamaica. All these people had sex. And you know what sex produces? No, not baby rabbits. That's just us. It produces children, babies. Ethnically diverse babies. So if you want to tell me your family is as pure as a white sheet, you're full of it. And if you want to tell me your family is just African and there's no white blood in you, you're full of shit too. We all were part of a mixing bowl. And Rome and Egypt and Samaria and the Hittites, Jesus, go back. They were not interested in what color anybody was. All they were interested in is you're working for the good of the empire. They had slavery way back. The United States got rid of slavery, faster than any other country in history. And you're about to destroy it. We have homeless people living in streets in tents. Nobody cares about them. They're drug addicts. They're this, they're that. They fell on hard times. Let's take care of them. Let's start taking care of our infrastructure before we start bringing illegal aliens in and giving them the country for free. We can't fix all our problems, but for crying out loud, don't make more problems by being jackasses. There are no ethnically pure races. There aren't. Just get over it. We all came from a mud puddle someplace in Africa. Somebody crawled out of it, and then the next one crawled out of it, and that's how evolution went. We're all the same. Unless you're like me and allergic to the sun and you can't go in the sun, so you can't even get a tan. But I know for a fact I have every race in my blood. And I'm not ashamed of it. And you shouldn't be either. We're with you, Cousin T. Make that picture a little bit bigger, though. You're a really good-looking kid.